don't know whether we'll go for 40 minutes or more. I'm not so sure. There is a power maintenance on our end, so I didn't even know today they would be working because most so KPLC doesn't work so much on weekends. So I was just relaxing, researching, only to realize there's no power, guys. So I may not really take a lot of time, but of course later in the evening I'll be here. So let's see what we can do for now. I really appreciate you. I wish you an early happy Christmas and happy New Year 2026 as we are coming to an end of this year. And I hope as you sit down, you have so much to celebrate for whatever has happened around. However, as we get to 2026, remember, that is the time we are going to see a lot of hot politics. So what is your stand? Dr. Siar, Nigerian, welcome in the house. Yesterday I really handled matters Nigerian, and was it on Wednesday? Yeah, so I hope you guys, you're fine in Nigeria, but we are really praying for your situation right there and hoping that everything will be settling down so that we see progress and not the kind of situation we've been seeing in Nigeria. And it's unfortunate also that I've been looking around in Kenya. We've had a lot of people in one of the parts of Kenya who are dying of anger. And maybe it's high time that we get to solicit staff and send to Northeastern, because currently our brothers and sisters are dying right there. Of course, some information coming from Marsabit. We have families who are opting to marry off their daughters just because of the situation they are going through. It's unfortunate, the kind of challenges our countries are going through. But my saddest moments are Africa. When I see problems falling on Africa, like what Senegal is going through, what Nigeria is going through, what Sudan is going through, Tanzania, I feel so bad. But I just hope that things are going to be better, because it's sad, actually, when you see things falling apart. And thank you so much for coming to the house, Dr. CR or DCR. DCR from Nigeria. Hello, my brother. Is it my brother or sister? One of that, because you just said Nigerian, so I'm not so sure whether it's my sister or my brother. And one of the countries that has really progressed, and if only the leaders or these things of Boko Haram would cease, it would be very progressive, is Nigeria. It comes out after South Africa, but I don't know. Currently, South Africa has problems, and Nigeria is also encountering problems. But I just hope that sooner or later, we will have the best moments possible. So let's just check briefly on Marsabit in Kenya and what's happening right there. Because other areas in Kenya are having very heavy rains, although in the last 3 or 4 days, there are no rains anymore. But it's unfortunate that Northeastern, especially Marsabit, has been encountering a very serious drought. And I just found it weird that most of the people are not talking about this. You know, I don't know why. You find that sometimes we focus so much on some problems and forget others. I even blame myself too. I've not talked about Marsabit earlier, but hundreds of residents in Dukana, not Turkana, but Dukana in Marsabit are devastated, and there is loss of lives. Daughters are being traded. You can imagine. Now let's just check on this. 2 days ago, there was this that was being shown.
Now, as drought deepens in the country's arid north, desperation is forcing families into painful choices. In the north, or Marsabit County, some parents are marrying off their young daughters, some barely in their teens, just to survive. The livestock is gone, food is scarce, and for many, a daughter's bride price has become the remaining bargaining chip. Children caught between tradition, poverty, and a changing climate. Tonight in Drought Diaries, Ben Chumba reports from Marsabit on the silent cost of survival, how drought is...
Yeah, so before that, we see the videos on what is happening exactly in Marsabit. I remember when I was a child, there is a point where the same thing happened to eastern region of Kenya, exactly in areas of Kitui, Machakos, Makueni and all that. And it was very traumatizing. You could find women leaving their homes in Ukambani to come and get married, you know, over a sack of maize or a sack of beans. When, you know, matters marriage or matters emotional amorousness changes to relate to desperation, it becomes a very bad moment because these girls are going to fall in hands of anyone, any prey, you know, and it's not a good experience to relate your marriage to a drought that was actually eating up your region, but it's happening. Now let's check on this. So hunger and poverty are actually driving the rise in early marriages for the girls in northeastern. And this is now where we say politicians are very funny. When you look at our politicians in Kenya, all they are focusing now on, like ODM in focusing on the 20 years of celebration. You come to the United Opposition, they're just focusing on the specific areas where they have to solicit votes. You look at the government, they are just also campaigning. They are in a panic mode and traveling all over the country to make citizens understand that they are the best, they have done the best, they can do the best. So it's unfortunate, actually. That's where you start to see, to draw a line and see the reality. Yesterday, I listened at Wajako and he was saying that politicians are letting us down. Whether it's the opposition or the government, when crisis like this is emerging, what are they doing? We should be seeing them trying to relieve the families so that they don't marry off their kids. But the problem is because of focus on self. They are not even interested in the welfare of citizens. D. Stephen Paul Sirikulam, I saw you yesterday. Is it yesterday or Thursday? Thank you so much for coming in the house. I appreciate. As I've said, there is no power currently, and I had not charged my phone very well, so I may be just taking some, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. So I appreciate those who are watching currently, but I have to cover these matters. And then later on in the evening, maybe by 7, I'll be doing other videos later to just talk about these matters. You know, if we keep quiet about them, who is gonna talk about them? And that is why I'm here to do what I have to do. All right. So let's check on the areas of North Marsabit and see what is happening right there.
In the innocence and future of young girls.
And forgiving here. This is North Hor, Marsabit County. The land is dry, the wells are empty, and so are the stomachs of many residents. For many families, hunger is no longer news. It is a daily reality. Girls as young as 12 are married off. They say they do not have a choice. Not because of culture, but for survival. Families here says they need the bride price. More camels, more food to keep the rest of the children alive.
Sasa saa ingine mtu iko na njaa, mtu anakuja kuomba mtoto. Si lazima atasema wacha nisaidike nipate chakula kukula ndio wacha hata nipatiane msichana wangu, kwa sababu kimila yetu inahusu msichana na mtu anapata ng'ombe. Anapata kama ng'ombe 8. Sasa anasema sasa hiyo.
Can you imagine? Now it comes to a level whereby a family has to trade a child for food to survive. Does it mean that the money we are seeing the politicians pouring out there cannot be diverted to help these kids so that they are not married off at the age of 12? I can imagine if I was married off at 12 years. Really? What could I really do? Could I even pursue my education? Could I really be mature enough to take care of a family? It's unfortunate. These are some of the situations politicians don't want to address. You know, they'll be talking about a rosy country, a rosy situation, a rosy Kenya, a rosy world whereby the production of maize has increased. If it has increased, can't we see the government actually driving trucks to Marsabit to secure these families that are dying from famine and hunger? How I wish then I should have people actually getting to our region so that we can contribute maize and it be transported to these places because we've just harvested. I just wish that we have maybe AMREF or Red Cross or those kind of companies, and then it would be possible for actually us from the other regions, particularly where I'm sitting, to donate even maize and beans to these people because we did harvest so that they have food plenty for their families. It's if we do this even if people are going to contribute, let's say 5 kgs of maize, others 10, others 20, others 50, at the end of the day, we won't have to see these young girls being married off. And if this is going to happen across Kenya, because our president on interview indicated that there is a rise in a production of maize, then we are going to save these families in Marsabit from whatever they are going through. Where is this unity? Where did it go to? Because now we unite in purpose when it comes to matters we shouldn't. But when it comes to situations where we should salvage others, the government is just silent. There is no specific way to save. I can see them exchanging like war between Malala and Natembeya, the war between Kalonzo and Ruto, the war in ODM. But I can't see any of them addressing matters Marsabit. They are enjoying around the tables for the cakes, for the wine, for the, for things that are not really necessities when other families down in Marsabit are suffering. Let's see another picture of this. And it's not very matter of, it's not an exciting matter.
Among those paying the highest price are girls, some young as 12 years, are being traded for food, for survival.
Sasa zingine unaamua unapeana msichana yako mmoja ama wawili waolewe na familia ambayo iko na ng'ombe ndio upate ng'ombe ya kulisha wengine wadogo. Kule nini?
We meet Naima, not her real name. Her baby is strapped to her back. She's a mother of 2, yet still a child herself. She was married off at just 13. Her parents, she says, had no choice. The goats were dead and there was nothing left to eat.
Mama singa ito kishida kiata. Kwa hivyo nikapatua msele kwa na mali ndo wasasi yangu wapate kitu ya kulisha watoto wengine na kusomesha naye. Sisi tuko tu wengi kimila ya hapa tu ndio inakaa hivyo watu wanaolewa ukiwa kidogo dogo ndio wengine wapate kusaidika hivyo. Kupeleka shida yana hofu.
In her village she is not alone. Elders admit it is an old practice and now revived by desperation.
Unapata mzee ako na watoto, ako na nyumba kama boma mbili, 2 wives or even 3 wives. Ameishiwa na mifugo, ana hata ng'ombe moja, ana ngamia moja, ana mbuzi mmoja, na watoto wamejaa kwa nyumba, wadogo na wakubwa. So unapata hizo shida ziko hapa mingi. This is not because of cultural things.
Okay, as far as the Marsabit people are saying it's not culture. And the other day, the president said they have created a relationship between maybe, let's say, Kenya and other nations. Now, the problem is the people of Marsabit are not also getting the right education that would allow them to go work elsewhere. Sorry for that. So, without education, one thing for sure is that these people will continue to, disappear within this culture that is not expected. Let's check this.
Because of hunger and poverty, imesumbua watu wetu sana.
Activists in the area say the drought has worsened the vulnerability of girls across Marsabit and other drought-hit regions.
Juzi tulizuia harusi karibu 5 wasichana hawajaolewa tulipeleka shule. Na kukeketa wasichana pia tunawazuia sana. Siku hizi zamani wagabra wanasema hii ni mambo ya mila yetu lazima tufanye, lakini at this time iko changamko mingi lakini sio mbaya kama zamani.
In some areas when schools close, girls are married off and never return to class. Here, talk of the drought always leads back to daughters and tough decisions no parent wants to make. One mother says she resisted the pressure.
Ninayo watoto 10 na nimesomesha mmoja tu ndio sijasomesha kwa sababu iko na shida tu yeye mwenyewe kwa roho yake tu si mzuri kabisa. Kwa hivyo wengine bado wanasoma na wengine wamemaliza kusoma.
But not all have that choice. For those without livestock, food aid or income, daughters have become the only remaining hope. Government officials say they are working with local leaders and relief agencies to distribute food and raise awareness.
The chiefs have been doing a good work of giving the information. Then we act by sending officers and rescuing the girls.
All right, guys. So, so far, according to Marsabit, some people are indicating that the chiefs are going to serve the purpose of rescuing these girls. And how I wish there should be a high, kind of help that is directed towards Marsabit through Amnesty, Food Relief, UN, and other bodies. And currently, of course, when you look at many places in Kenya, including the Western Front and other areas, people have harvested. So I would wish to actually have a specific place settled for collection of maize. If personally I'm told to contribute towards this kind of situation in Marsabit, I would be more than willing to give some food so that it goes and serves a family. So I don't know what is happening, because so far, from where I sit, I've not seen any people who are going about maybe sensitizing other people in the country to contribute towards the fate of the people in Marsabit. But away from that, I'm not seeing the leaders actively talking about how they are helping the people of Marsabit from their situation, so that we don't have a generation whereby people will not be educated, families which are poor are going to marry off their daughters to old rich people, because I don't see how being given a cow in a famine will help to save the rest of the family. It will be just a semi-permanent solution. Anyway, now let's get to the fight between Malala and Natembeya. What's happening? Because we have been talking about the united opposition. Now Natembeya has actually been pinpointed by Malala as one of the traitor. How truthful is this? We are expecting maybe Natembeya to be talking very soon, but let's listen to Malala while at Hisa.
Mimi niko tayari hata kufungwa, bora nikomboe mtu Mluya. Wewe leo unaweza toka hapa uende kwa Eldoret uchukue 70,000 acres. Unaweza? Nyinyi mnaweza toka hapa muende kule Bomet mchukue 7,000 acres. Hawa jamaa wametudharau. Mimi nataka muangalie mtu Mluya anaogopa mtu ambaye anaua watu. Mtu ambaye anaua watu, sisi ile kitu tunafanyanga ni kuchoma nyumba yake na
Now, of course, while Malala was speaking in Kisa, he indicated that because of the looting that is going on, and he pointed at the president specifically mentioning names, he indicated that according to the Luya culture, when somebody kills people, their house is burnt. And if this statement is taken literally, then it will become very dangerous for Malala. However, in terms of culture, it is a symbolic indication, possibly to mean that Malala was asking the voters to actually bring him down in terms of voting. I don't know how it will be going about, but the politicians are just sometimes they just go so much with some words that can be very serious. Anyway, let's listen at how he talks about Natembeya and what is happening in the united opposition.
Ninawakumbusha William Ruto akiona kijana yoyote anaandika kitu kwa mtandao, anatuma polisi, ananyonga, wanapiga risasi vijana wetu. Nataka kuwakumbusha kule Nairobi mliona kijana alikuwa na gawa mask. Sisi ni lazima tuchome nyumba ya William Ruto, tufurushe yeye aende. Hiyo ndio kimila ya watu wa Luya. Mko tayari? Aende asiende? Mimi naomba tafadhali. Huyu jamaa ametudharau. Paka amedharau sisi ambao Waluya tuko kwa opposition, na pia hata Waluya ambaye anafanya kazi nao. Na hivi ndio anadharau Waluya wake, kwamba hata kusimamia campaign ya hapa Malava ameona ati Musalia hawezi simamia campaign, ati Wetangula hawezi simamia campaign, ati Oparanya hawezi simamia campaign ya nyumbani. Ameleta mtoto wao Mkanji anaitwa Faruk, ati Wetangula akitaka mafuta ama pesa kidogo anaambia Wetangula pangeni laini hapa. Ati vile sisi tunapangishanga nyinyi laini, Wetangula na Musalia pia wanapangishwa laini. Ati Faruka anaambia Wetangula wanahesabu Musalia Wetangula wanaye. Hapo anaambia wewe usirudie laini. Hivi wametudharau watu bana. Na ukitaka kujua watu wametudharau, huyu Faruk Kibet juzi mmesikia Amina Kubasali hapa. Akaenda ile project ambaye William Ruto amemtuma kufungulia Waluya ni kupaka rangi kwa cattle dip. Nani wametufikisha hapo? Ati Faruk Kibet anatufungulia cattle dip. Wanafungua KCC, wanafungua Brookside. Na nyinyi hapa mnakuja mnapewa. Tumekuwa na mambo ya kushangaza hapa. Unajua sisi nataka msikie wazee na mama msikie. Tuache kelele. Sisi wote tulikaa chini tunaitwa United Opposition. Adui yetu ni mtu mmoja. Sisi wote adui yetu ni mtu mmoja. Huyo mtu anaitwa William Ruto. Sio? Huyo mtu tunataka aende one term. Na nikisema Harambee mnasema Harambee. Sasa sisi tulikubaliana hivi kwamba adui yetu ni William Ruto. Tukakubaliana kwa hii by election Kenya nzima kwamba sisi wenyewe kwa wenyewe tusipigane. Sababu sisi na watu wa Wiper wakipigana ni sisi tutakuwa vibaya. Ndugu na dada haifai wapigane, si ndio? Kiposa mliona kule Magarini, kule Pwani, Mombasa, kule Malindi. Tulikubaliana Wiper iwachie yule mbunge wa DCP. Si mnaona kwa TV? Vile mkoona kule Mbeere North. Tukakubaliana kwamba mtu wa DCP aachie mtu wa PP. Vile tukakuja hapa Malava. Tukakubaliana hapa Malava. Mimi nilikuwa na candidates sisi kama DCP. Lakini tukakubaliana kwamba DCP iweke mtu chini to support mandugu zetu. Sisi to support Seth Panyako. Sasa iko maneno inafanyika hapa. Serikali imeenda ikaona kwamba tunaenda kushinda hii viti yote. Imekuja ikapatia mmoja wetu pesa kwa jina George Natembeya gavana. Ikamwambia enda huko Kisa East, enda chokora so that huko sisi wote tupoteze, serikali ipite. Sasa George Natembeya leo amekuja hapa Kisa East. Ametoka kule Trans Nzoia. Ati anakuja hapa anataka kutugonganisha sisi watu wa DCP na watu wa DAP. Hii mtakubali hiyo kweli? Shangaa Governor George Natembeya. Mimi nilidhania wewe ni mtu wa heshima. Wewe ulikuwa askari ukakuwa gavana. Lakini nimegundua bado uko na ile akili ya askari. Ile ambayo unakula kwa mshtakiwa, tena unakula kwa mfungwa, tena unakula kwa hakimu. Unajua askari anakulanga kila mahali. Sasa sisi tunakubaliana, tunaweka sahihi. Natembeya anatumiwa na NIS kukuja kujaribu kutugawanisha. Anapewa pesa na Murkomen ati akuje agonganishe watu wa United Opposition. Juzi mumeona wakati anaona kwamba hapa Kisa East tunashinda na Malava tunashinda. Tena akapewa pesa na Murkomen. Akaenda kule Nairobi kufanya maandamano ati anataka kutoa Eugene Wamalwa kwa kiti. Ndio Eugene atoke kule Malava tushindwe na sisi hapa pia tushindwe. We want to tell George Natembeya, wacha kutumika na NIS kugawanisha United Opposition. Amekuja kunichokora leo hapa Kisa East ati ndio mimi nikasirike nisiende kuwasaidia kule Malava alafu serikali ishinde Malava. I want to commit here that Natembeya hata akuje hapa Kisa East, I am still committed kusaidia DAP Kenya ishinde kule Malava. Na hapa tunataka tumwambie hapa ni kwa Dickson Ajuda. Hapa Kisa East mnasemaje?
All right, so that is the politics of Kenya. The politicians have to undress each other. And they always tell us they are not permanent enemies. But currently, of course, we can see a battle in the united opposition. It started as a joke. When they called Natembeya a project, we never understood. But now finally, Malala, the charismatic, outspoken individual, has come out to indicate that Natembeya is actually a mole, or rather a government person, because according to the information he's giving right there, he's indicating that Natembeya has been paid off by the government to distract the politics. I'm not so sure about this, but you know, the united opposition, the other day they told us they are working together, and therefore they are just having one candidate in each of the by-election zones. That is Kisa, Malava, Magarini, Kaspul, Northeastern, we have one of the places there, and many other places in Kenya. So Malala has spoken out. Of course, he started first by undressing the president and saying that he's ready for even arrest. But his declaration was that the president's house should be banned. And of course, that is literally speaking. Literally, it means that people should not vote for him. And as he went on, he now began to speak about the fact that Natembeya is distracting the process of election. Now, when he comes out in public to talk about this, and the other day they declared themselves the united opposition, it becomes room and happiness for the government. Because currently, Kenya Kwanza is actually battling, and ODM is just at its back to struggle around. However, there is also more drama. There's also more drama in ODM. Something that we have been watching from a distance, but it's now clear. Now, there is a team of people even within the 20-year celebration who are supporting strongly the aspect of broad-based government. And again, I don't understand, because I can see Oburu is confused. Today he says we are going to be in government up to 2026. We are going to work along with the government as agreed. Tomorrow he says no one should actually support the government. The other day he says ODM should be a strong party and we are looking for a candidate. Then we look at Arati. Arati says, I am vying as the presidential candidate. You look at Sifuna. Sifuna says we cannot support the government. You look at Ruth Odinga. Ruth Odinga the other day said that she can even vie for the presidential position. Gladys Wanga is strongly for the vice president position. And when you look at Babu Owino is talking about we cannot support the government. So what is happening in ODM? Please make it clear, because the battles and the complex aspects in ODM are just, you know, torn. We saw Winnie Odinga the other day standing and saying that ODM is not a party to be sold off. So mnatuchanganya as ODM. Up to now, we don't understand what you stand for. What are your ideologies? Because as you preach water, you are taking wine. Or you are preaching wine, you are taking water. So we are totally confused as citizens. And clearly, if ODM are not careful, they just have to surrender and be absorbed by the government. And even when you look at their celebrations, actually I want to bring here a certain picture. There are people with white t-shirts, and the back of the t-shirts is written RUTO Tano Tena. What is that meaning? It's possibly trying to show us that ODM during the 20-year celebration is endorsing RUTO as their candidate, because what's happening? Again, RUTO had to attend their meeting in the official launching today. So let's just check here. I want us to go through the views, or what different people are saying. Listen at Orengo, listen at Winnie. I want us to listen at Sifuna. Then now we go to the other hand. We listen to Joho, we listen to Wanga, and you know, of course, Wandai, you heard him earlier. Now let's begin with Orengo here.
Governments that are accountable, There are people in the party. They are behaving as if ODM is the one that needs RUTO. Is RUTO that needs ODM? Kwa sababu ameshindwa. I'm not afraid to say. I'm not afraid to say I have nothing to fear but fear.
ODM si chama kilichozaliwa kama siri. Nasikia kuna wengine ambao wanatembea nasi mchana lakini usiku wanajaribu kuuza hii chama. Haiwezekani. ODM was not born in a bedroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk. It has been the heartbeat of the Kenyan people for 20 years. ODM was born from protest. It was raised in resistance. And the people of ODM have time and time again bled, sweat, and shed tears for this country called Kenya.
Now, looking at that, then what is the, what is going on? I want us to also see something here. I want us to see something right here. Joho spoke, and from his speech, he's different. He's speaking a very different tune. Let me see whether I find that. Where's Joho? Ah, he's here.
ODM. Let me tell you, kumekuwa na vyama vingi sana katika taifa letu. Kumekuwa na uongozi katika vyama kwa miaka mingi. Si kawaida na sio chama kinaweza kukaa na nguvu kwa miaka zaidi ya 20. So therefore mujipigie makofi wafuasi wa chama cha ODM. But let me tell you, particularly those that are in leadership today, Gladys Wanga, Simba Arati, Abdulsama Sharif Nasser, Oburu Odinga, it took a lot of sacrifice from our leader to bring us to where we are today. It was not about selfish interest or selfish gains. If there's anything Raila taught us is how we move together as a people. How we could consolidate our views and make one decision that we stand for. Tumeelewana mpaka hapo? Sio chama ambacho kila mtu anaweza kufikiria. Mimi nataka niwaambie, we must value the principles of our party. We must respect the views, the collective views and opinion of our every issue we had. Ndio tukampenda. So you cannot force us to love someone. You cannot force us to love someone. Uweza kulazimisha umpenze mtu wewe? Unaweza. Unampenda anaye kupenda. Unampenda anaye nini? Sasa wewe tupende na sisi tufanye nini? Tukupende. Iko shida hapo. Iko shida. Sasa mimi sitaki kuongea sana kwa sababu leo I am celebrating the legacy of my founding father of my party and sinamna hiyo. We are here to celebrate the legacy of our founding father, Raila Amolo Joey. You know, mimi ni mtu I love music, lakini mara nyingi huwa naimba nyimbo za squeezy. Hizi za squeezy. Kwa mapenzi ya baba alinifanya paka nikajifunza ile nyimbo nini ile. On the Bay of Mexico where the sun shines.
Mimi ni Gladys Wanga, mwenyekiti. Viongozi kina mama hapa, wajumbe, ma MCA ya mama ambao wanaingia katika siasa. Alisema mama anakuja kusimama na baba ambaye amezaliwa pale, akaenda shule pale, akatembea pale, kila kitu akafanya pale. Na mama anatoka kwingine, anaolewa pale na anasimama na yule mtu ambaye ameishi pale miaka yote. Hii ilikuwa ni hadithi ya baba. Na alisema mama akishajikakamua afike mahali, basi chama impatie full support. Mimi nataka kuambia kina mama tusikufe moyo. Kuna wale ambao wamefanyia campaign chama, hakuna mtu anakuuliza masomo yako. Hakuna mtu anakuuliza masomo yako wakati wa campaign. Kama hawaulizi masomo wakati wa campaign, wasiulize masomo wakati wa nomination. Mtu asiulize masomo. Iangaliwe ya kwamba nani amefanyia kazi chama, nani ametembea mashinani, nani ametembea usiku na mchana, nani amefanyia kazi chama. Huyo ndiye achukuliwe, afanyiwe nomination, afanyiwe reward. Awe mzee, awe kijana. Kina mama hoye! ODM hoye!
That is Gladys Wanga for you saying they need to respect each other. Of course. Now let's look at some more drama here. And of course you listen to Simba Arati.
ODM. Haya, asante kina mama, ketini sasa. Mrudi. Haya. Kina mama hoye. Nikubalie. Nitakuwa mfupi sana kwa sababu najua kwamba watu kutoka asubuhi wameketi hapo. Na watu njaa wameona njaa. Si ndio? Umeona njaa. Nataka niseme kwamba tunamaliza, watu waende kujivinjari. Kwanza nataka nitoe shukrani zangu kwa ndugu yangu Abdulswamad. Na yeye kupanga mkutano akakubali wakati baba alikuwa hai kufanya mkutano. Tuambie kwamba enda polepole. Chama hiki ni chetu. Hiki chama ni cha watu milioni 15 ambao ni wanachama wa ODM. Kama chama chetu kiko na demokrasia, kama wewe uko na maoni tofauti, ongea. Lakini msimamo wa chama, sisi kama chama 2027 lazima tutengeneze serikali. Tumekaa katika upinzani miaka nyingi. Tutatengeneza serikali na wale watu wako na fikra kama yetu. Watu wanaheshimu haki za kibinadamu. Watu wanachukia mambo ya ufisadi. Watu ambao lazima tupeleke nchi yetu mbele kama wananchi watukufu wa Kenya. Kwa hivyo, kwa sasa mpaka 2027 tunashirikiana na serikali hii ya progress. Tunashirikiana, lakini pale
I wonder how ODM would actually be saying that they are going to work together with the government up to 2027, but they'll still have a candidate. You know, for any party to actually take part in an election process, they need to prepare early campaign, hold rallies. So how will they be actually holding rallies under, you know, their workship? They are working together at the same time. They'll be holding, you know, parallel rallies with the government. I just don't understand this. Maybe someone should let me understand, because I'm seeing a lot of confusion. It's a whole panorama of confusion from ODM end. Even as I look at the 20 years of celebration since the onset of when they arrived in Mombasa and up to now. Of course, you've seen already Winnie Odinga speaking and Arati and Orengo. Their language is not the same language as Gladys Wanga. We've seen the governor Joho. We have Junet. We have Wandai and many others. I'm still digging more to just show up because my phone doesn't have very much power. We are into 40 minutes. I hope we'll reach 50 or 60. Now let's see here. As Junet walks out, just when Arati is speaking. Of course, he walked out emotionally. I showed you yesterday partly. I don't know whether you saw this.
kama ni kifo, watu wamekufa. Ndugu zangu, dada zangu, hakuna vile tutaangalia nyuma tena. Kama wewe utataka kuvunja chama vile the president of US Obama alisema, for those ones who will tear down the world, they must be defeated. If you want to play with the party of ODM, we must defeat you. We must defeat you.
All right, look at Osoti. Osoti also talked here, and let's listen to him.
Watatu, na mimi nasema asanti sana kwa hiyo imani ambayo mmenionyesha mimi, na nawaahidi kwamba kama nilikuwa nafanya kazi nitafanya mara 100 kwa sababu ya hiyo imani mko nayo kwangu. Distinct independent political party, and I said recently we must respect our structures. Like today, we are confirming our leadership who sit in the NEC and the Central Committee. We want all of us to respect our structures. Whatever messaging we give to the public must respect the position that the party has taken through its structures. Ninajua mnaelewa kitu nasema, kwa sababu tumesema sisi tuko ndani ya broad base until 2027. And we do not want confusion about that. That must remain the position of the party, and as one of the deputy party leaders, I will not betray the decision that we collectively made.
That is the most confused aspect in ODM, actually. And it's just confirming that possibly ODM's candidate would be RUTO, if you may ask me, you know. Let's look at this exchange here, the drama that erupted at some point.
Kike Hassan Ali Joho lazima apewe heshima yake. ODM oye! Mungu atubariki kina mama wote na wababa wote na roho ya baba aliyepanga hii hafla ilale mahali pema peponi. Asante.
Asante. Sasa nimuite mama Kwale, wengine wanamuita mama anafanana na Mia, lakini mama wa Kwale, mama Fatma Masito, karibu.
Basi asante sana.
Let's see what Senator Oburu said.
Oburu silale more than ever resolved to be a party not only of this size, but to resolve to be a party much bigger and bigger and bigger. And we cannot allow ourselves to be kumezwa. Hatutakubali kumezwa. We shall not agree kumezwa, because if you are strong, everybody wants to talk to you. But if you are weak, nobody wants to talk to you, because you are of no use to him politically. Politically, you are as good as your numbers. People ask you, what are you bringing on the table? What are you bringing on the table? If you are bringing nothing on the table, kakando. So you must bring something on the table, and the thing you have to bring in politics is numbers.
So Oburu still insists. Oburu still insists. Oburu still insists the party must be held together and they must focus on standing as opposition. On the other hand, they are saying they are going to form the government, they will not be in the position. I'm totally confused, guys, up to now. But what I just kind of see is that most of the ODM members are scared of losing the current position they have, the favors they got out of the broad-based government. So they want to stick around and maybe possibly again be nominated, or rather be given a favor, which is unfortunate, because this time round, of course, when election comes, things will have to turn. And depending on how much and who will win, then that is what will happen in the future. Let's just see what Ruth Odinga says here, and then I'll be checking on what Sifuna said, because those are the very key people in ODM.
Lakini I'm very happy, nimefurahi. Wamama mmependa Raila, poleni sana. Juzi niliposema hii chama bado iko gangari, watu walikuwa nasema huyu Ruto anasema nini. Leo umeonyesha, umeaibisha, umeonyesha ODM bado iko gangari. Sifuna yuko, Osasi yuko, tuko wote, na party leader ya Odinga je? Yuko. Siyako. Nani anasema hii party
All right, so we will be listening to Sifuna. Lucy, welcome on board. I'm just going through this discussion, and I think there is a lot of confusion in ODM currently. And it's unfortunate also the United Opposition has begun crumbling down with the attacks. When they attack each other in public, like Malala speaking about Natembeya, and all of them, of course, come from Western region, it becomes like they always say, exposing your, hanging your dirty loins in public. So it happens with politicians in Kenya. I don't know what happens. Whenever they have a small problem, they have to come and hang it in public. They don't know that those fights also create a lot of crevices and cracks amongst them. So we have seen already the UN United Opposition, the war inside it. And now we are seeing another war in ODM. Even in their talks, I don't know whether they're asking themselves, as Ruth Odinga says here, that the party is right together, it's united. All I can see, it's a lie. It's a lie. Because we have people who have a different ideology, like Edwin Sifuna, Orengo, and Oburu is divided. I don't know where he stands, because he gives different statements every day. Then we have people like Arati is also together with Sifuna. Babu is with Sifuna. Then you go to the other side, look at people like Junet, look at Gladys Wanga, look at Wandai, look at Mbadi, and so many others. They are also very much away from the ideologies they are talking about here. The other confusion in ODM is when they tell us that they'll be in government up to 2027. A party needs time to prepare their candidate for elections. So if they really want to vie for elections in 2027, they cannot bring us the candidate in 2027 and win, So I just see a kind of an absurd phenomena. But how I wish then we would have the Gen Zs coming out strongly with a party that is now focused and intelligent, using some wisdom and focused on agenda. Because even currently when I ask ODM, what is the agenda, they don't have it. Just like the opposition, as they are being accused, they are focused so much on talking about one term, until everywhere they go, they have to only address Ruto and talk about Nana liba Ruto, Nana liua Ruto, Nana ame thin pay slip Ruto. They are not coming out with a strategy to tell us what exactly are they coming to do for us. And of course, yesterday I was talking about citizens now have to act like the Ukambani people. The Ukambani people will ask directly to these people, what exactly are you bringing on board? You are telling us about one term. When you come in, what are you bringing to us? And how are you going to ensure that this works? So I think so far, the citizens now have a task here. And if they are going to miss out on that, I don't know. Now let's listen to Sifuna, then we'll be coming to some analysis from a different angle.
Vijana, lazima tukumbuke hizi rangi tukivaa, hizi rangi zina maana fulani. Watu wakiona ODM wanafikiria nini? Sisi ndio chama cha kupigania haki, sisi ndio chama cha kusimamia ukweli, sisi ndio chama cha wananchi, na hatuwezi kubanduka katika hizo nafasi tatu. Mtu asikudanganye bwana. Mimi kama Sifuna niendelee nisiendelee?
The microphone is refusing, Sifuna.
Washaingia baridi, waambie watulie, si ndio? Leo tutaambiana maneno hapa. Nataka niseme mimi kama Sifuna ni mwanafunzi wa Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. Ukivaa hii kofia ambayo imeandikwa ODM, ukumbuke yale maadili ambayo baba alikuwa anasimamia. Mheshimiwa Winnie Odinga, wengi wanasema mambo ambayo waliambiwa na baba wakiwa peke yao. Kila mtu anasema hiyo, na najua hatuwezi kusikizana ni nini baba alituambia tukiwa peke yetu. Na situfuate ile alisema tukiwa wote basi. Situfuate ile alisema tukiwa wote basi. Baba alituambia tukiwa wote ya kwamba we must keep the identity of this party called ODM as a separate entity from any other. Unapovaa hizi kofia, ukumbuke miaka 20 ambayo imepita, ni watu wangapi wameuawa kwa sababu ya kusimama na haki? Ni watu wangapi wamejeruhiwa? Hata siku ya mazishi ya Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga, watu walipigwa risasi pale Nairobi na kauawa. Kufikia leo ninavyozungumza, hakuna mtu katika serikali kuu ambaye amezungumza na hizi familia. Mimi nawaambia hiyo si haki, na sisi kama wana ODM hatuwezi kunyamaza wakati ambapo maovu yanatendeka. Nataka niwaambie, mimi niko ngangari. Kama Sifuna mimi niko ngangari, siwezi kutishwa na mtu yoyote. Nataka kujua kama nyinyi mko ngangari nyinyi. Nataka kujua kama nyinyi mko ngangari nyinyi, ama nyinyi ni watu wa kuingia baridi. Hawa viongozi hawa tulikuwa nao wakati huyu Drogba wa Embakasi South ulikuwa pale. Siku ile baba amesema tunaingia kwa barabara, tuko Chungwa House. Wengine wanasema
yeah, I agree with the bad truth here. I agree with bad truth because what I can see is that ODM knows that it's dying slowly. It is actually dying. There is a very big crack that has already penetrated its walls. And when a crack penetrates your wall, there is nothing you can do. And they are just trying to kick, because those are, of course, what a bad truth is saying, the kicks of a dying horse. Reality. Because you tell me how everybody has a different speech. Sifuna talks like this. You see Junet speaking like this. Wanga speaking like this. Winnie speaking like this. You see Arati speaking like this. Oburu speaking like this. You know, Zamzam speaking like this. I can't understand these people totally. And unless they have a hidden agenda, somebody actually was discussing somewhere and indicating that it must have been before Raila actually gave information, and I think it was Manyora, that before possibly he gave information, his interest was to support the current government. And that is why these people are insisting. The final statement each is saying is that we will be in broad-based government up to 2027. Because there is no way, there is no way you can actually go and support. There is no way you can party or have a candidate coming out abruptly and vying for a position. You have to strategize from now. But ODM is avoiding that. They are avoiding by all means. You look at opposition again, they are becoming a confused team. So how I wish we had the Gen Z now coming out as voice, face, and with leader. Let them not continue to be leaderless, faceless, voiceless. We want a strong Gen Z team that comes out, pinpoints a leader, and they begin conducting campaigns in Kenya with serious focus. Let them give us the manifesto, what they'll do, how they will do, and why they will do. We don't want these people who are recycled dynasties and, people who are just recycling. And if Kalonzo actually believes that he can do, let him be serious so that we are not just seeing them talking about one term. We want them to talk about what they are going to do now for citizens from now henceforth. Bad Tooth says, Winnie can't even speak Swahili. Wacha Jaluo with an accent. Lucy says, if the opposition carries on like this, Ruto will win in 2020. Put their act together. Of course, that is why Ruto the other day while in Kakamega, he was saying the only person who was strong against him was Baba. And the opposition never accepted. Babu Owino, Bad Tooth. Babu Owino is strong, but currently he's focusing to be a governor of Nairobi. He's not already coming out as a presidential candidate. I don't know. I've not seen him yet presidential. But if he did, I'm so sure that if he did under a new party that is supported by young people, people would opt to go for that than these other people who are confused. These other people are just drama. Some of them are just doing because of animosity, revenge mission. Like when I look at Gachagua, I think he speaks out of bitterness from what he lost. When I look at, I don't see. Yeah, he wants to be the governor of Nairobi, which is okay, will win. But then about the presidential candidate, we have not yet seen a serious candidate because we are just seeing some people are being endorsed here and there. And up to now, Kenyans are still confused. They don't know who is coming in as the presidential candidate. There's a video here I wanted to play, though my phone is almost going down with power. Now that Kenya Power have decided to do maintenance up to 7 in the evening, and I don't want my phone to be totally empty. So look at this.
Chairperson wa chama. Karibu sana Gladys. Jeshi ya baba. Jeshi ya baba. Pokea sifa. Asema wewe baba. Baba pokea sifa.
Kila mgeni kiti. Alafu hawa waliosimama karibu na hii crane, muna interfere na operation ya hii crane tafadhali.
Basi tutaweza kuanza. Kwa heshima, madereva mlio mbele, muelewe kwamba mkisonga wale wako nyuma watasonga.
Yetu ulinde party leaders wangu, viongozi wa chama, magavana ambaye wako hapa wote wakiongozwa na deputy party leader wetu wa governor Mombasa, cabinet secretaries, wabunge wenzangu, delegation ya ODM kutoka pembe zote za Kenya. Nimewasalimia tena, nimesema ODM tuko tayari. ODM Mimi kazi yangu ni fupi sana hapa. Nataka kuwapatia sababu ambayo imetufanya leo tukutane hapa Mombasa. Hii ni sherehe ambayo ilipangwa na baba mwenyewe ili tusherekee miaka 20 ya ODM.
The funny bit about ODM is that no sentence goes. Like, whenever someone stands and gives a speech, they are holding on to the spirit of Baba. Somebody in the morning, I was watching some analysis by this guy from Central, and he was actually indicating that it's like people are trying so much to harvest that spirit of Baba, and he was insinuating that the only person who made it to harvest is Kalonzo Musyoka. I don't know, and it depends on how he'll use it. You know, that this guy was giving a lot of controversial discussions, very heavy discussions. I don't know. I'm trying to get that video here so that we show what was being discussed. I don't know what he was meaning. I think this is the discussion. I want you to listen to it partly before we come back to the ODM moments.
Him and the father so that he can build his own territory. Are you saying now?
Yeah.
And to build your own territory, you have to break the altars of your father. You break the altars of your generational altars, the altars that grew in your family, for you to become independent. You have to cut the umbilical cord for you to become yourself. So what actually happened is that Uhuru went to the gravesite. He prayed, he did whatever he did, but he never gave a sacrifice.
Maybe he did that in secret.
He didn't take cows. An altar is serviced by which formed it. Are you getting me now? An altar is serviced by what founded it. The kingdom of the Luo community, the Wanga kingdom, is founded by the altars where cows are involved, bulls are involved. Are you getting me? So Akina Wamalwa knew it and they took like 5. That is what they got from Raila. Others took, Akina Natembeya did that. All these other tribes, the Luo tribes who went there, they went with the bulls 3, 4, 5. And this is what the Kasimosha they got from there. But the man who knew and he knew what to do, he took a delegation, 2 delegations. 2 types of delegation, 3 types of delegations. He took the traditionalists from Mukambani. Getting me? He took the politicians from Mukambani. And he also took the religious leaders, the pastors, the bishops. He went with them. Then he knew I have to take something from there. He went with more than 130. There are more.
Yeah.
Some died. Some were weak to be brought. Somebody who was there told me there were about 200. Some that were weak to be shown were left behind. But the ones that were shown were 150. And once they did what he did, he came with the instruments of power from the Ukambani to exchange with the instruments of power from the Luo so that they can merge together. So he sacrificed at the altar of the Luo king. The altar, that grave already is now an altar. He sacrificed at the altar of the Luo king. So he disinherited the Luo kingdom, took it to Kambani kingdom. He went with the power. He left them the cows. And then he ignorated the son. He commanded now after sacrificing at the altar of this Luo king,
He inaugurated
the son as now a new king.
But then nobody did that. Under whose authority is he doing this?
That is upstairs here, spiritually. This man was up. Maybe because we prayed with him. So this man knew exactly what he was going for. And look at Ida. Look at all the time Ida has spoken. Which other time has she spoken with happiness, like during the Kanonso day? You've never seen Ida saying what she did. You've never heard Orengo doing what he did. All the people who are sidekicks.
All right, that is the discussion from Duria Wariunge. You can get time to look at that, but it's quite tricky actually understanding this and whatever he was saying. But I was just trying to say that in ODM, currently nothing is passing without them mentioning Baba. It's like they're scared or they're still holding onto that spirit. Like they don't see them operating without mentioning. But at the same time, I don't know. there are very different scenario happening in ODM at the same time, you know. Let's proceed with the Azimio view, then we'll come back to another discussion in studio where there is an individual here sharing some information, and that will be marking our end to wait for power so that we have more discussions later in the day. So let's continue watching this part of Azimio. Where is this? The live happening in Mombasa. Yeah, here.
Kando kidogo ili yule aliyekaa aone yale yanayojiri hapa.
Ready to lead the future of AI and business with a doctorate? Join the Doctorate in Business Administration in AI and ML program.
Asidi. Ona Juneti Muhammadi ndio vipenzi wa kwetu. Mombasa fahari yangu yuko wapi Zamzam? Ni miaka 20 ODM I love you. Jambo la pili, na place nimefika, neema na huruma, sasa ni huduma. Kwa Yesu kuna atina katika na chuchuma, nilizaliwa huru. Sema nini? Na place nimefika, neema na sasa ni huduma. Kwa Yesu kuna atina katika na chuchuma. Pia kwa wanachungwa kutoka Western Region, wanachungwa wa Western msimame, angalia ile tent nzima. Bas wakiongozwa na Osotsi pale, Otuoma pale, Barasa pale.
It's funny how people are commenting on the other end. They are saying a girlfriend is so happy now that Ruto is in the house. Wengine wanasema 2 term kwa mpigo, wengine wanasema 1 term, 2 term, rip all the time. Wengine wanasema jensi wakila wa salary cut, education astray, SHA not working 1 term. Wengine wanasema hii ni serikali tena, no opposition. Others are saying now watch kutoka Norway. Another one is saying 10 bila break to Ruto and ODM in general. Wengine wanasema 2 term siku zote. Another one is saying Kalonzo ndani kabisa 1 term. My goodness. Wengine wanasema Ruto amepora Kenya. Another one Kalonzo siku zote. Hey, another one is saying hata uje na Ruto, Kalonzo tosha. So when you look at the channels and what they are airing, there is a whole quarrel of people giving different views on the channel. I don't know what is your thought. You can drop your comment based on what you think. But this is Gladys Wanga celebrating the party as the chair.
Tuteremke mpaka kule Nyanza, wanachungwa kutoka Nyanza ni waone kwa mkono. DJ Simba Arati anawaongoza pale. Simba Arati, cheza kidogo, chungwa hoye. Simba Arati anakuongoza.
Haya, DJ, sasa tuko na wenyeji wetu wana Pwani, wanachungwa hapa Pwani. Wacha msimame tuwaone. Deputy party leader wa chama kutoka kule magharibi na senator wa Vihiga Godfrey Osotsi. Leo ni sherehe, kila mtu wear your dancing shoes. Baba alisema leo tukija hapa nekea. Tuko na deputy party leader, governor wa Kisii County, Simba Arati. Haya, Simba cheza. Asante sana. Tuko na sio mwingine bali ni party leader wetu.
In the morning light, a symbol of hope, bold and bright. Born from the struggle, the dream took name. ODM carries the people's flame. Voices rising, strong and clear, justice and unity drawing near. From villages to small city-wide, the orange spirit will not hide. The people's choice, the people's pride. With faith and courage, side by side.
We keep listening to that. I saw some controversial aspect here. The fact that in this celebration, we have people who have come with white t-shirts written RUTO Tano Tena. And I want to look for one of the videos. I'm not so sure whether I'm going to get it, but let me hope I'll get it. So what message is that if ODM is holding a moment like this, 20 years, and then in their midst, we see people with white t-shirts and women with white t-shirts. At the back, they are written RUTO Tano Tena. And I want just to bring a brief video clip of that. And I want you to tell me, what would that be communicating? Yeah, you know what we do here is analysis, simple analysis. Yeah, so I want to bring that one. Oh my God, the commercials.
Seriously, your prompt and cursor over.
All right, guys, we've seen those ladies with t-shirts written RUTO Tano Tena on the back. What does that mean? Does that mean that this celebration is actually being infiltrated by RUTO's party or team? Does it mean it's a marriage arrangement again, where RUTO Tano Tena is integrated in ODM? Does it mean that during the 20 years celebration for ODM, they are now officially endorsing RUTO? Or is it a trick by RUTO so that once they take pictures, they'll be spreading on the media? And of course, you know how media goes. Everybody will be like ODM endorsing. Because the official wear for ODM is actually yellow. And this is an event for ODM. So we expect if there is any attire that is supposed to be written, actually worn, it's yellow. And we shouldn't see any writings to support a duration for someone, okay? And if they were maybe to respect Azimio, which was formerly the party, it would be blue, but not white with writings saying Ruto, Tano, Tena. And I don't think those t-shirts were actually made by those women. Possibly they were done by somebody who is supporting the government, or maybe the government itself, you know. Those are very tricky moments, guys, in this analysis. Very tricky moments. Okay? So, actually, there is an ODM split that is coming up openly. And we have some few people who are trying to kick the horse kicks, the dying horse kicks. Of course, we know what is happening. But the reality is that things are not rosy for ODM. As long as they are trying to cheat us left and right. Remember, the event has also been attended by RUTO. Of course, when I was showing you there, RUTO just arrived and so the event starts. Okay? So let's just check here as we also look into what this guy is saying here.
First, they ignore you. And this is Mahatma Gandhi who said that. First, they ignore you.
Order farm.
With the hatchet.
Okay.
Yeah. They don't have a choice anyway.
And speaking of abuses, just there.
What is happening?
The day, now it's Wiper Front, not Wiper Party. Wiper Front leader Kalonzo Musyoka went to Opoda Farm. And he made a political statement in terms of the number of people he went with, delegation, the number of cows he went, the way he was received by Orengo and visiting Anyang' Nyong'o and Mama Ida. And politically, the statement was made, although he denied it was not political. That's just politics anyway. And then online, there was a lot of people who seemed now to fight what he was doing and saying he was not Raila's best friend. No, he was, what's going on with Kalonzo? Why is he a threat?
I don't know what's happening with my computer. Something is happening, I can't understand.
Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga ambaye ametuacha. Yeye alikuwa na moyo wa kufungulia vijana mlango na kutufunza. Mimi nikichaguliwa katibu wenu mkuu mwaka wa 2018 nilikuwa na miaka 35.
And then they started laughing
to fight what he was doing and saying he was not Raila's best friend. No, he was, what's going on with Kalonzo? Why is he a threat?
You see, first they ignore you. And this is Mahatma Gandhi who said that. First they ignore you. And then they laugh at you. And then they fight you, and then you win. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. They ignored Kalonzo for a very long time. And then they started laughing at him and calling him watermelon. Watermelon, watermelon. After that, they have started fighting Kalonzo. So we are at stage 3. There's only one stage remaining. Kalonzo is going to win. Whether they like it or not.
Win what?
What else? Kalonzo is going to be president.
So is it official that United Opposition is going with Kalonzo?
They haven't made it official. They don't even need to make it official. But when you look at the pros and cons of all the candidates they have, it's only common sense that he's the person that the United Opposition should front. It's common sense.
So he's a threat?
And a big one.
Why?
When you hear the president saying, sijui mtu ameanza kuisha nywele, all those sort, why are they attacking him? Kalonzo is at stage 3. If you are a politician, people have ignored you. Have they ignored the other candidates? They don't even talk about them. Have they laughed at the other candidates? I haven't seen anybody laughing at any of the other candidates who is offering themselves. I haven't. Nobody is coughing at the other candidates, and I don't want to mention their names. Nobody is fighting any of the other candidates. Have you seen people fighting any other candidate within the United Opposition? Nobody is fighting them.
Well, Matiang'i has been.
Matiang'i has not been fought by who? Tell me one person who is fighting Matiang'i.
The powers that be.
No, they are not fighting Matiang'i. If anything,
even the young people have called him out.
If anything, the people who I know who are speaking for Matiang'i are bashing Rigathi Gachagua every day. And they are bashing Martha Karua and all the other people within the United Opposition. And they are creating a wedge and a rift. I think Matiang'i is a good candidate, no doubt. But at the same time, those people who have been mandated to sell him, and I call them parrots,
All right,
are not selling him properly. Because half the time, they are telling people how Rigathi is bad. And then they come and say, so my candidate is Matiang'i. Half the time.
all right. With that, I want us to go back to the part of the live from Mombasa. Hey, the politics of Kenya are quite funny. This is already 1 hour, so I should be ending, but let me just finish with something here.
Andalizi ambayo walitengeneza hii sherehe na wanakamati wangu wako hapa,
niko hapa kama nilivyosha wa bunge la Afrika Mashariki, Mheshimiwa Winnie Odinga, niko naye Raila Odinga Junior. Asante sana ndugu yangu kwa kukua hapa. Kiongozi wa familia hii sio mwingine, ni kinara wetu Dr. Oburu Oginga, vile vile dadake Ruth Odinga. Niombe ni alike Mombasa Group kwa anthem maalum ya ODM. Na ndani
kujenga taifa moja kuna fikra za kugawa. Tuliweka maelewano pale mambo haendi sawa. Na kwa kikuuliza nachosimamia, waambie ni ODM. Maelfu na mamia na viongozi.
It was a long protracted battle that saw many fall by the wayside through bullet, others held incommunicado, and many left with lifetime injuries. Sounds of gunshots, the pep.
All right. I feel like we have to come to an end. We'll be coming back later to discuss many other political aspects and just understanding the situations on the ground. So I really appreciate you. I'm unable to see who was chatting. Let me just check on the computer so that I take my time to appreciate you, because you're very special people for always keeping it real, watching my videos. Yeah, so we had Kasigara Gwasa akisema nawapata nikiwa Tanzania. Nashukuru sana kaka yangu. Jay akisema tutam. Lucy saying I'm going out kidogo. Thank you. Lucy anasema Raila name can be used as a reference point lest Kenyans forget his contribution to Kenyan history. Okay. Bad Tooth anasema we talking about God? No. That is exactly what some people think. Lucy akasema huyu anasema nini? Lucy anasema what is this guy talking about? That is Wariungi for you. He's a funny guy. Very funny. Bad Tooth alisema yes, Governor Nairobi, President the Kisi guy, Arati. Lucy anasema I see great tribalism in both opposition and government. Nothing for common man. It's really true. Bad Tooth anasema KPLC is not doing a good job. Lucy, there is nothing wrong in observing and practicing our culture. Bad Tooth anasema altar. Who else spoke? Lucy akisema Kasigari Gwasa, karibu sana kaka yangu kutoka Tanzania. Natumai mu salama sasa. Actually Tanzania ilikuwa inatupa tumbo joto wakati kulikuwa na vita vikuu kule. I hope mmetulia. Diagonosta. I hope you people are also subscribing to the channel if you are new here. If you are new, I hope you are subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. And I've really appreciated your presence, Gasigara Gwasa, Diagonosta Nosta. I'm Lucy J. Peter Gakunyi has just come in as we are finishing. Then we have CR, Stephen Paul Srikakulam. Na wengine wote, I really appreciate your presence. Peter Gakunyi, thank you so much. Unfortunately, tunafunga because my phone doesn't have a lot of power. Backup si kubwa sana. Backup yangu, I didn't even charge. I don't think it has power. So I may be forced to end. Then I'll be coming back later. Maybe in the evening. I don't know. When these people are maintaining here, like yesterday, power came back at 7. And that is the time I was able to come back online. So I may be going off. Then by 7 or whenever power will come, I'll be checking in to do more reactions towards ODM and even other countries. I'm seeing a lot of places have a lot of problems. So we'll keep talking about it. And also I have to create the thumbnails for my videos. So bye-bye for now. Gracias. Adios also. Let's meet later. May God bless you in your endeavors. And thank you so much. Peter Gakunyi is saying, so sad. But you can just go back and check from our minute 1. We have really discussed a lot of things. And unfortunately, power is not so much in my phone. So I cannot exhaust it because I also do some other businesses. If I exhaust power, it means that I will not be able even to conduct somebody if there is any monetary aspect. So Peter, you can check from the minute 1. We've really covered a lot of matters in relation to ODM party, UDA, the United Opposition, Marsabit situation, and so much more. So thank you so much. Bye-bye. Love you people. Thank you so much for supporting me. May God bless you too in your endeavors. Thank you.